affirm the testimony you will give today in the matter of the state of Georgia versus Jose Ibarra will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self be God?
I do.
Okay, please take a seat. Spell your first and last name for Madam Court Reporter, please.
My name is Lily Steiner, Lillysteiner.
How old are you?
I'm 22 years old.
And where do you live? Not your exact address, but what part of town?
Currently,
Yes.
I live in Canton, Georgia.
And what are you doing right now?
I'm working as a medical assistant.
Did you go to the University of Georgia?
I did.
And did you graduate?
I did.
When did you graduate?
Graduated in May 2024. This year.
While you were at the University of Georgia, where did you live and who did you live with?
My address was 1686 Millage Avenue Extension, Athens, Georgia 30605. And I had 3 roommates, Connolly Huth, Sophia Magana, and Laken Riley.
How long did the 4 of y'all live in that house together?
Connolly lived with me for 3 years, and then Sophia and Laken moved in. We lived in that house for 2 years. I lived with Laken at the time of her death for a little over a year and a half.
How would you describe your relationship with Laken?
We were roommates, but the term roommates is an overgeneralization of our relationship. We, our house was like a little family, and we called each other our family. We did everything together. We had family dinners, family TV nights and movie nights. Laken brought a sense of joy to all of our lives that has been missing ever since.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Henry, what's been marked for identification purposes in States Exhibit 1. Do you recognize the person in States 1?
I do.
Who is it?
Laken Riley?
And does it fairly and accurately depict Laken as she appeared in life?
Yes.
Statement moved to admit States Exhibit 1. Request permission to publish. No objection.
It's admitted, and you may.
So, how old was Laken?
She was 22.
Where did she go to school?
At the time, she was going to Augusta College of Nursing, which had an Athens location.
What was she studying there?
Nursing.
Prior to attending Augusta College, had she attended the UGA?
Yes.
Okay. How long was she at UGA?
She was at UGA for 3 years before that.
Did you and Laken and your other roommates share each other's location?
We did.
Tell the court how you all did that.
So there's an app called Find My iPhone, Find My Friends, and you can request to have other people's locations, share your location with other people. So we did that with a lot of our friends.
Tell the court, where were you on February 22nd?
I went a few different places. That morning I was at our house, and then I ran a few errands, ended up back at our house, ran another errand, went back to our house.
Did you see Laken that morning?
I did not.
Okay. What time did you leave your house?
Around 9:30, I believe.
Okay. And when you left your house to go out, was Laken there or not there?
She was not there.
At some point, did you become aware that people were looking for Laken?
So I kind of had concerns of my own. When I left the house the first time, I wanted to go get coffee with Laken. I knew Laken was the only one who may have been home. Sophia was taking an exam and Connolly had class. So I knew Laken might have been home. I went downstairs and I didn't see her sitting at her usual spot at the kitchen table. So I checked her location to see where she was, and I saw that she was on a run at on a trail that she typically ran.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm handing you what's been marked for identification purposes of States Exhibit 2. Do you recognize States 2?
I do.
What is States 2?
This is a screenshot from the app Find My Friends of Laken's location.
And is that how it appeared when you checked it on the morning of February 22nd of 2024?
Yes.
State would move to admit State's Exhibit 2. No objection.
2's admitted.
And may I publish?
Yes.
Publishing State's Exhibit 2. Could you tell the court what we're looking at here? Explain this to us. What is this?
Sure. So the LR is the initials of Laken Riley. You can see that at the bottom. And underneath her name is a rough just address, I guess, of where she was at. And then underneath that, it says now. This is the exact time of when her location, the way that it updated, it would say now. So that was her location at that exact time.
And is that what you saw when you first checked her?
Yes.
And where is that location? And is your house in here as well? And other people? We see other initials. CH, MC, what are those?
Yes. So CH is Connolly Huth. That is my roommate. And so her location right there is at our house. And then MC, that is one of my other friends who lived further down the street.
And LR was Laken Riley?
Yes.
And where is that location that you saw her? Are you familiar with that location?
Roughly, yes.
Yeah. And
yeah.
When you checked it, what about the first time you checked it? Approximately what time?
It was about 9:30, from what I remember.
Okay. So did you again check it again?
Yes. So when I got home from my first set of errands, and I saw that Laken still wasn't home. That wasn't unusual because it was only about an hour after I checked her first location, so I thought maybe she was just still on a run. Checked it a second time around 10:45, I believe. That's a rough estimate. And I saw that it was in the same location. That did raise some concerns. So I texted Laken and just was checking in on her, and then addressing Connolly in a group message. I said, she's been in the woods a while.
Did you have a cell phone service that day?
So that day there was an AT&T service outage. So I was not, I did not have service if I was not connected to the Wi-Fi at my house. So if I left the house, I was not able to communicate or receive any communication.
So where were you home then? At approximately what time did you get home when you realized that she had not left the woods?
That was about 10:45, and then I ended up leaving the house again because I still wasn't. I just thought she was still on a run, and there was maybe she was on the phone or something.
And then what time did you return again?
I would say roughly 11:30. I'm a little less familiar with what exact time that was.
And when you got home at 11:30, was there anyone else home?
Yes. So I immediately pulled in, and I saw Sophia standing outside with her dog. And I got out of the car, and she just immediately said, can we go look for Laken? Yeah.
And did y'all do so?
We did.
And what did y'all do?
So Sophia was a little bit more familiar with the trail. We walked down using her knowledge of the path that Laken would usually take on a run. And then when we got a little bit closer, we were using the Find My Friends app to kind of go directly to where her location was until we were standing kind of right around it.
When you were at the location where you felt that Laken was showing on her phone, did you see Laken?
We did not.
Did you see anything that you think may have belonged to Laken?
So when we were walking, Sophia noticed a lone AirPod that was sitting on the trail kind of right around where her location was, and she picked it up, kind of assuming that it was Laken's.
All right, and I'll ask Sophia about that. At some point, did you all return home?
We did.
Okay, when you got home, what did you do?
It wasn't shortly after that we got home that I called 911, or not 911, excuse me, the UGA Police Department.
May I approach the witness room? My name was been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 3. Do you recognize State's 3?
I do.
What is it?
It is the phone call that I made to the police.
And is it a fair and accurate recording of your 911 call that you made on February 22nd, 2024 at approximately 12:05 p.m.
It is.
when you reported Laken missing.
It is.
State move to admit States Exhibit 3, request permission to publish.
No objection.
Please admit it in writing.
Your Honor, did we have to toggle back over so that you could hear it? I don't know the system like that.
Yes,
We
we do. If you play it
do.
from the laptop.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure, but we'll see.
Yes, sir. Because I know it's playing, but I can't hear it.
Is that on HDMI? I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
12:05:55 seconds, February 22, 2024.
Mercy Police, this is Jed.
Hi, we're calling because our roommate went out for a run at 9. He usually runs like through Lake Herrick behind grad housing, and we haven't heard from her. And we all just got like service back, so we don't think it has anything to do with the outage. We went to go look to where her last location was, and all we found was an AirPod.
Okay. Hold on one second for me.
Okay.
You said last seen near the, IM fields?
It's like behind the iron field, so we live near like grad housing, like building 8, and so it's the woods behind there.
Okay, have you tried calling her since you just got service back?
Yes, we've been, yes. Her family doesn't have AT&T, which was the one with the power outage, so they've had service the whole time, and her calls have been ringing through. We're just not getting answers.
Okay, where are you at right now?
We are...
I'm going to stop States Exhibit 3 at 1 minute in. Is somebody else also talking?
Yes, so I
Tell
was
the
having
court.
trouble explaining kind of where Laken's location was just because I wasn't super familiar with that area. So Sophia Magana, my roommate, took my phone.
Okay, are y'all together when you're making this call?
Yes.
At our house on Millage Avenue Extension.
Okay, are you able to come? Hold on, let's see. Can you come, do you know where the intramural fields parking deck is?
Yeah, we can go there.
Okay, can you go there and meet with officers? What's your name?
My name's Sophia Magana.
And what's your friend's name?
Her name's Laken Riley.
12:07:43 seconds, February 22, 2024.
What is your phone number?
The one that I'm calling you from is 678-756-0513.
And what's your friend's phone number?
Okay, I'm going to ask you, do you remember Laken's phone number off the top of your head?
Kind of, but yeah. If I can.
Are you about to say it to 911?
Yes.
And is the number that you gave, 911, was that Laken's cell phone number?
Yes.
That we're about to hear?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Let me look. 770.
Do you know if she has class or anything at this point?
She has a class at 1, so that's it's her nursing. She's a nursing school, and she does not miss class.
12:08:43 seconds, February 22, 2024.
How did you get her last known location? Was it from her phone?
Yes, it was updating, so that's why we're a little confused. But we didn't see her phone up anywhere when we went. But she hasn't moved for almost 3.5 hours now.
or does it just keep ringing?
It keeps ringing. I'm on my way to the iron fields now.
Okay, that's fine. How long ago was it that you last called her?
I mean, like 5 minutes.
12:09:56 seconds, February 22, 2024.
Okay, so what kind of vehicle are you going to be in so the officers know who to look for?
Black sheep.
How did she get there? Did she run from your house there, or did she take a vehicle there?
Yes, she runs the trail. Her car's still at our house.
Okay, we've got officers on the way, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Police, this is good.
Hi, my name's
Another call that got attached. So after you made that 911 call, what did you do?
I drove to the the intramural fields parking deck on UGA's campus to meet with the police.
And where did Sophia go?
So Connolly was in class. Sophia went to go pick up Connolly from class so that they could meet us at the iron fields with the police.
And did the three of y'all meet there?
Yes.
And were the police officers there?
Yes.
At some point, did a police officer ask you if you could show him the location of Laken as it depicted on your phone?
Yes.
And did you do so?
Yes.
And the thing that you showed him, as it states Exhibit 2, what we've already looked at?
Yes.
Okay. How long did y'all have to stay there that day at the iron fields?
It felt like forever. I'm not sure of the exact amount of time, but maybe around 5 hours.
At some point, did the police ask you to show them the ring footage from your home where Laken had left out in the morning?
Yes, there were a few times that the police asked for different things, but I did show somebody at some point, yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm handing you what's been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 4. Do you recognize it?
I do.
And did you put your initials and date that thumb drive?
I did.
What is State's Exhibit 4?
This is the ring footage from our front door of Laken leaving that morning.
And is it a fair and accurate recording of that ring footage?
Yes.
They would move to Mid States 4, request permission to publish. No objection.
Submitted and
I'm going to pause it quickly. Do you see, first of all, in States 4 that is now being published, the date and the time of this footage?
Yes.
Could you tell the court where is it and what is it?
It's in the bottom right corner.
And what's the date and what's the time?
February 22nd, 2024, 9:03 Eastern.
And who is that person that we see in State's Exhibit 4?
That is Laken.
After 9:03 a.m. on the 22nd day of February, did you ever hear from Laken again?
I did not.
Did you ever receive any text messages from her?
Not after 9:03, no.
Any calls from her?
No.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions for the witness.
You should be excused.
Yes, sir. And she would like to remain.
All right. Go down. You can call your next witness. Let me just, while you're, go ahead, who is that?
Sophia Magana.
Sophia Magana. My plan is to take comfort breaks, 1 in the morning and 1 or so in the afternoon. I'll look for, just sort of in between, so just to let you all know that. If something needs to happen outside of that, let me know.
Yes, sir. May we take one absence witness, Your Honor?
That'd be my plan, I agree.
Hand, please, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give in a matter of the state of Georgia versus Jose Ibarra will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, I do.
Great. If you could please take a seat. And I know you are soft-spoken. Can you please move that microphone right close to your mouth so that His Honor can hear you and that counsel for the defendant can hear you? It's really important that you be heard, okay? And Madam Court Reporter is very close to you as well. She has to be able to hear everything you're saying because she's taking it down.
Yes.
All right. Spell your first and last name, please.
Sofiamagana.
How old are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, all right. What do you do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
And what do you teach?
I teach special education, high school language arts.
How long have you been a teacher?
4 months.
Where did you go to college?
I went to the University of Georgia.
And did you graduate?
Yes, ma'am, in May.
Of this year?
Yes.
Where were you living at the time of your graduation?
I was living in a house off of Millage Avenue Extension.
Who were you living with?
Lily, Connolly, and Laken.
How long have you lived together?
I lived with them for 2 years.
I want to direct your attention to February 22nd, 2024. What were you doing that day?
I was taking my GACE exam for my certification.
How do you spell that?
GACE.
What is a GACE exam?
It's a test you're required to take to get certified as a teacher in the state of Georgia.
Were you allowed to have your phone with you when you took the test?
No, ma'am. I had to put it in a locker.
What time did you leave your house that morning to take the test?
Around 8:20.
When you left your house that morning, did you see any of your other roommates?
I saw Laken and Connolly before I left.
Where did you see them?
Connolly was on her couch and Laken was sitting at the table, and I spoke to them for a little bit.
When you left out, where did you go for the test? Was it on campus or elsewhere?
It was on campus. It was in Clark Hall.
How long were you there taking your test?
I got there around like 8:45, and I left maybe around 11:15ish.
When you completed your test, what happened?
I got my stuff, I got back in my car, and I drove back to my house because I didn't have service, so...
When you say service, you didn't have what service?
Phone service.
And why didn't you have phone service?
Because AT&T had the outage that morning, and my provider's AT&T.
So, what happened when you were eventually able to get service back on?
I got back home, and when I got service, I had some text from Connolly, my roommate, asking me to check around the house to see if I saw Laken anywhere. And then once I got into the house, I got a phone call from Connolly and from Lauren.
Who's Lauren?
Lauren's Laken's younger sister.
After you got the call from Connolly and from Lauren, did you look for Laken?
Yes, I looked for her around the house and outside, in her car, kind of everywhere, every room, every corner, a few times, and I didn't see her.
What did you do after that?
I grabbed my dog and I decided to check her location on Find My iPhone, and then got my dog on his leash and started heading out to go towards her location.
Did you go alone, or did someone else besides your dog go with you?
Champ came with me, and then my roommate Lily.
Champ is your dog?
Yes, ma'am.
So where did y'all walk, and about how long did it take you to get there?
We walked down the trail that was like off the road, so it took us about no more than 15 minutes, I would say maybe 10, to get to where we got.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm showing you 3 exhibits at the same time. State's Exhibit 5, State's Exhibit 6, and State's Exhibit 7. Starting first with State's Exhibit 5, do you recognize that overall photo?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
It's a map of the trail.
The state would move to admit State's Exhibit 5.
No objection.
5 submitted.
State's Exhibit 6 and 7, can you look at both of those?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recognize both of those?
Yes, ma'am.
What are
The
they?
pictures I took when I found an AirPod.
And do they fairly and accurately depict what you saw on February 22nd of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
State would move to admit States 6 and 7, request permission to publish.
No objection.
6 and 7 are admitted, and that covers 5, 6, and 7.
And may we toggle back over, Your Honor?
Yes.
Starting first with State's Exhibit 5, and I have a pointer that I think you could use that has a laser on it. No, no one will be able to see that. No. Your Honor, can you see the screen if she uses a pointer?
I can. I've got a. You got the other pointer? Okay.
And that's probably going to be the better way to go.
Yeah, I think she's got it, yeah.
If you could show His Honor, what direction did you and Champ and Lily go, and where were you when you found an AirPod?
So we started here, and then right about here
At
is
the end of the
at Millage, where it
Millage
turned
Avenue?
into a sidewalk.
Okay.
We got to the sidewalk, and then there's the train tracks like right here, and there's a little like trail that's just been walked over a lot. So we went down the trail, and then crossed over the train tracks, and then walked this all
Around the
way.
retaining pond?
Yes,
On
ma'am.
the side
Around
of it?
the retaining pond.
All right.
Can I stand up?
You may stand with the court's permission.
Yes.
Thank you. But keep your voice up so Madam Court Reporter can hear you.
Okay. So we walked here, and then this is where like the main trail starts. So we got over here. There's like a turn. So we took the curve and we stopped right about there.
Okay. So when you say there, is there a trail there?
Yes, ma'am. It's all a trail. Paved
And that's
trail.
on the top right part of State's Exhibit 5. For the record, I'm just making a record for the court.
Right.
Okay. Where within the trail, was it on the side of the trail, the middle of the trail, where within the trail did you find the iPod? AirPod, sorry.
The AirPod was towards the left-hand side, but still on the trail.
And showing you, first of all, how did you find the AirPod?
Champ was sniffing a lot, and so I looked down because he was really fixated over a specific area where I kind of had stopped, and he was pulling, and then when I looked over, I noticed there was like a white AirPod, so.
Right, State's Exhibit 7, what are we looking at there? And can you see the AirPod?
Yes,
Can you point to it for the court?
it's right here.
Okay, the bottom of this photo.
Yes, ma'am. That's where I found the AirPod, or where it was when we got it.
And you said this is State's Exhibit 6. First of all, do we see Champ in State's Exhibit 6?
Yes, ma'am. He's right here.
All right, in the corner, the left corner of the photograph.
Yes, ma'am.
If you could use State's Exhibit 6, show us within the trail where you found the AirPod.
The AirPod was about right here.
Okay, where your shadow is?
Yes, ma'am.
Or a shadow of a person?
Yeah, my shadow.
Okay, thank you. While out there, did you see Laken?
No.
Okay. When you found the AirPod, did you look at it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you think it was Laken's?
I did.
And why did you think it was Laken's AirPod?
She always had a little bit more wax on her AirPods, so I noticed the earwax.
And was it also, did she have, what color were her AirPods?
They were white.
Okay. So did you collect it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you eventually give it to the police?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm handing you what's been marked for identification purposes, State's Exhibit 8, and I'm just going to ask you to look inside this bag for me, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Okay.
Look inside that bag. Do you recognize what is inside State's Exhibit 8?
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
It's her AirPod.
Is that the one that you picked up on the 22nd day of February, 2024 that you gave to the University Police Department?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it in the same or substantially same condition?
Yes.
State would move to admit State's Exhibit 8, request permission to publish.
Eight submitted and no published. Is it one? Just one?
Just
Yes.
one. After you found the AirPod, Ms. Magana, what did you do?
I took the pictures first just to remember, and at that point I picked it up and I turned around to Lily and I told her we were going to walk back to call the police because we both didn't have service.
And did y'all do that?
Yes, ma'am, we
And
did.
then where did you go after the police were called?
I went to go pick up my roommate Connolly from her class, and then I met Lily with Connolly at the IM field deck.
And when y'all were at the IM field deck, did the police respond?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you tell them the information that you had gathered?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Magana, did you receive any text messages, any calls, or any communication with Laken Riley after 9:03 a.m. on the 22nd day of February 2024?
No, ma'am. My last text from her was at 9:02.
May I have a moment with counsel, Your Honor?
Yes.
I don't have any questions for this witness.
Miss, you be excused.
Yes, sir, and she would also like to remain.